looks like we're moving towards this direction that these audio recordings, they're going to be released. Good news, I think.
I think it is good news.
In general for
and
America.
also I think one of the interesting things I've talked a lot to you about, and the show really, is about when I can look at these 3-judge panels or even just a district court judge and look at who appointed the judge and kind of have a way of guessing the outcome of the decision. This was different. This was a Trump appointee and I believe an Obama appointee that ruled this way. I think there was one Biden appointee that dissented. But yes, just in time, maybe, for the midterms or heading into 2028. I'm guessing we're going to have, I think it's like allowing him to appeal this into August, so there might be a little lag there. We will see. But of course, this could give ammunition to Republicans.
But it also, Jason, could end up in the Supreme Court.
It could. I guess we're going to see where it goes, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference politically or make a difference for the midterms. Joe Biden is not on the ballot. He is somebody who's in the past, and I think people are more paying attention to Hunter Biden than they are to Joe. I think that people heard how Joe Biden was publicly. So we know that he was an elderly man with a poor memory. This is not going to shed any light, and it didn't rise to the level, according to Robert Hur, to a criminal
Then why is Biden
level.
not wanting to move forward with this? Why is he trying to block it?
Well, I don't think anybody wants anything that perhaps seems private or could have some embarrassing information in it, or maybe even he
Well, the point is about going to the Supreme Court. That would set a huge precedent in terms of we've had all these special counsels. Whether you're, I would assume, I guess, if the Democrats retook Congress, they'd try to launch another one. Or Democrat presidents would, and whatnot. Different investigations should things be on tape. We saw that with the Epsteins and the Clintons. That video of that eventually was released. This would be devastating. And again, we also have to remember the Biden book is coming out. Joe Biden's
November
book is coming out.
is what I was about to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you, that book is going to be a sleeper. Yeah. Ashley.
Well, I think that the most interesting here is you talk about the documents with the Trump administration. They raided Mar-a-Lago for those documents. So I'm interested to see with these conversations, if they are released, with the ghostwriter, about I guess how much President Biden was involved in that. And we all see that he had lost his memory. That's why he dropped out of the race. But I am interested to see if there's some revelations that indicate otherwise.
But you don't think Robert Hur would have indicated if he had said something about? I think clearly he maintained distance, and we're going to talk about that later, from the Department of Justice. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
inclined to push.
And I wonder, I will say,
yes.
Mercy, one of the other things when Jason was talking, I wondered about is, the frustration with Biden constantly kind of being in the news. I wonder if that would only give fuel or pour gasoline onto the progressive wing of the Democratic
Party. Well, you bet he's going to be asked about those.
I'm going to be a little bit with Jason's point. I don't think the Democrats could care less about Biden. They're happy Biden is somewhere in Rehoboth Beach. I do think that this is an issue of transparency.
Yes,
exactly.
I think for the American people, for public interest, for them to know, was this man, when you're listening to the audio tapes, was there something there? And maybe there isn't. So if there isn't, then I don't know, Joe Biden. Let the tape.
There's a difference.
Mercy, I feel that way about Donald Trump's taxes. He won't release that. He won't release lots of information. He won't let Jack Smith's report come out. So if we're talking about transparency, and you want transparency,
where was the news cycle the last few weeks?
Let's see all of Jack Smith's
Jack Smith
report.
was not a ghostwriter. Jack Smith was out to try to destroy Donald Trump.
And
He did an investigation, and that is our information.
There's a difference
because it was
between
done with our
transparency
resources. It was done with our resources
that we've ever
And many of those charges, if there's a new Biden-led or whatever, Democrat-led DOJ, could come back. I mean, the statute of limitations on some of those hasn't run, so that would be pretty good.
I'm feeling very sleepy, Joe. I'm a little jet lagged. Okay.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.